So it's getting planting season, and going to try to get some seeds growing again. So if you're working with old seeds, you're trying to get them to germinate, the best way of doing this is you get a paper towel that's unbleached. That's the brown paper towel. It doesn't have the bleach in the paper. The white ones, they use a bleaching method to make the paper towel, and the bleaching method can affect the seeds because the bleaching stays in the paper. So I use the regular brown paper, and I take and lay it out, and I either use spring water out of the spring or out of a creek. I don't use tap water because it's got chlorine in it and it's got chemicals and stuff. It wants to affect the germination. So if you use a bleached paper towel and you use tap water, you're having a lot of interference from the chemicals and bleaching from the paper, and then you got the chemicals in the water. So when working with old seeds, especially old seeds that's been kept for a long time, a lot of old people would save seeds in jars and stuff. So the way to get them to germinate is you want to use uh, as much stuff as you can use that has less chemicals in it, because it's going to affect the process of getting these to work. So we use spring water or some type of creek water or something. I like to use spring water that came out of springs, natural springs. But we wet the paper towel, drop the seeds on it, fold it up, put it inside a Ziploc bag, and seal it up. So the plants, they like the natural gas that builds up inside the Ziploc bag, and as the paper breaks down and the outer shell of the seed starts to break down, it'll start building up a gas, and the gases is what the plants feed off of. So that's what you want to get. Sometimes you can take rotted plant material and put it in the bottom of a bag, like old grass or something, and let it decay, and the gases that come off of it will feed and germinate the old seeds and give new life to it, because they got a shortage in them that they're lacking, that they're able to process the gases. So if you've got a little bit of extra gases, it helps them to germinate, because that's what they feed off of. As humans, we feed off of oxygen, but plants is different. They feed off the carbon monoxide that's coming off of the decomposing plants. So that's what we're doing with these old seeds, is we're building up a gas in here to get them to start germinating. So we got pepper seeds here, we got onion seeds here, we've got old sunflower seeds over here. We're just going to let them set until they start building up a gas inside here. Sometimes you can mix a little bit of Miracle Grow into the water a little bit and mix it in, and drizzle a little bit inside the bag. What you want to do is you want to keep it kind of warm and humid, and you're wanting it to build up. See all this fogging? This is what you're wanting to see. This will germinate the seeds. Then when they start to sprout, you'll start seeing them sprout through the paper. These ain't sprouted yet, but you'll start to see them sprout. As soon as they start to sprout, you want to put them in the sunlight, and then that's when they'll start feeding off the sunlight, and that's how you get old seeds to germinate. So if you're finding really old seeds that somebody saved, Sometimes you can get them to come back up, germinate. So a lot of times you can find old seeds that's been tucked away, people's hoarded from years and years ago, and you can re-germinate them this way. And that's the only way that I know how to do it, but it generally works this way. But the less chemicals they come in contact with, and the more greenhouse gases that you can get in to build up, that's what they feed off of. The more oxygen they get, the less likely they are to sprout, because they're feeding off the gases, and that's what they're looking for, and that's what they got a shortage of, and that's why they're not wanting to sprout. So you need to, if you got really old seeds, they need the gases off of decomposing plant material to get them to sprout, and that's what they're having a shortage in. So if you give them the right amount, they'll start sprouting and coming up again. So that's how you can re-germinate old seeds.